So if you are having a go at the trail tote, these are the pieces that you're going to need. So this here is cut out for the large size there. So you cut on the fold with your pattern piece. Once you've stuck the bits together, you cut on the fold 2 pieces of lining. So once they open out, you can see there, get an idea of the size of the bag. And we discussed that you can actually, it talks about in the pattern, marking the darts as if you would for dressmaking. I find with bags, what's easier is to actually cut the darts away. So what all it'll do is just make your dart slightly bigger than what they had marked it out to be. But I think that will work nicely on the bag anyway. So 2 on the fold there from my lining, and then 2 on the fold from the outer fabric that you're using. So I've got one there and then the other one here. And this I've added interfacing to the back of midway interfacing onto the back of my outer pieces. If you wanted to, depending on how thick your fabric is, you might then also want to add some interfacing to your lining pieces, but just see what you think of the weight of it. I think this bag would actually suit oilcloth as well, and tweed fabric. It's quite nice. So that's your main body pieces to cut out. Then the other thing was for the pocket, for the large, refocus now, for the large outer / zip pocket, I just sort of rounded up the measurements, but you're cutting one big rectangle, which was 50 centimeters long by about 30 centimeters wide. I did 29.7 because it was just the width, the length of an A4 piece of paper. So 50 centimeters by 29.7. So that's my pocket that's going to go on the outer bag, but because it's going to be a / zip pocket, it doesn't matter too much what the color is going to be of that. And then the zip for the large bag on the outside, the / zip is an 8-inch zip. So that's 8 inches from there to there. If you've got a longer zip, we can cut that down. So as you can see here, the measurement from there to there, from the head to the metal bit, is 8 inches, but the whole length of the zip is 9 inches there. The measurements for the smaller ones for all of this are on canvas as well. So that's the bits I need for the pocket, for the outside / pocket. For the inside, you might want to cut and add another one of those / zip pockets. So in which case you get another zip and cut that out again. And then the other idea was to do a patch pocket on the inside. So I did the measurements as 21 centimeter, 2 squares, 21 by 21 centimeters, which again, I think I mentioned, you can use a piece of A4 paper and then just fold it diagonally there and over. So you've just got a square. So I got 2 of those. And then to do this sort of internal slip pocket, which we've talked about adding to the patch pocket, so it's not just going to be a patch pocket, it's also got an extra slip section. On top of those 2 squares, if you then also just cut out a piece that's 21 by 29.7, or it can be a bit longer if you want to, but I use those measurements because, as I said, it's a piece of A4 paper, and when it folds over, it's sort of a nice height up that patch pocket. So that's another pocket that you can put on the lining of the fabric. The other thing that we need is, for the bag's got the piping all the way round the main part of the bag. So for piping cord, you need to get about approximately 120 centimeters. So I've got some sort of pre-made upholstery piping cord here that already had the cord sort of popped in it and wrapped around. But if you want to make your own, if you get about 1.20 meters of bias binding and 120 centimeters of cord as well, we'll make our own piping cord. So that's another piece that you need. And then for the straps, you can use this is a cotton webbing. You can use the polypropylene plastic webbing that is a bit cheaper, but you just have to sort of melt the edges to just stop that undoing. So if you're using the webbing, you want to get 2 meters of webbing, and this is it's about 3.5 centimeters wide, this one. If you are using your fabric that's the same as your outer fabric, for example, you'll want to get 2 meters by 15 centimeters wide, because that then gets folded into 4 and then becomes that same width as this strap. So it's a nice strong strap. So that's for the strap. And then just the other things you need are a magnetic snap. 15 or 18 mil should be okay. So I've just got a brass one there. It's got the 2 parts to it. And then a slider here. So this is a 38 mil slider, just under 4 centimeters. And then either O-rings or D-rings or the rectangular rings that are also the 38 mil. If you're making the smaller bag, you can get the 25 mil, 2.5 centimeter components for that. And the same with the webbing, you'd get narrower as well. So that's everything you need to get ready for the tray or tote.